All right, great evening. My name is Deepo Adesina. I want to take this time to welcome you to our webinar, the Entrepreneurs Insight Series, on where we focus on empowering entrepreneurs to, to scale their business and providing the necessary knowledge, the tools, the insight to equip you to become successful in your respective industry. This evening, I'm so fortunate to have a very good friend of mine by the name of Quinn Conyers, who is a phenomenal entrepreneur. And I think I've had the privilege of knowing Quinn for the past, I want to say 12 years now, going on 12 years. We met at an event about 12 years ago. And since then, we've just, connected. Quinn Conyers is a phenomenal entrepreneur, phenomenal speaker. And I've actually had the privilege to share the stage with Quinn at different occasions. And I tell you, Quinn commands attention when she speaks. And I think you will hear that as she talks about her journey as an entrepreneur and also sharing some of the strategies that she used to scale her business from the foundational level all the way to where it is now, to a six-figure business. And I think anytime you are in a position to hear from someone who is successful in their business, it gives you an opportunity to get into their world and also leverage on some of the things that they implemented. So definitely wherever you are, make sure you're in a quiet environment, have a pen and paper handy, because Quinn is going to be dropping some jewels, I'm telling you, because I've heard her speak before. But definitely do not take this moment for granted. And at this point, Quinn, the call is all yours, and I'm here to support you with whatever you need. Quinn, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You got it. You got it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Deepo. I appreciate the invitation to come and talk to the fabulous group of entrepreneurs that you are connected to. So I am excited to spend the next couple of minutes with you. I know that all of you are busy and you can be doing anything on this Sunday evening. So I take it for granted that you have decided to spend some time with Deepo and I as I give you a little bit of insight onto my entrepreneurial journey. So I am the proud Chief Fashion Officer of the Purse Paparazzi. I have a custom bag business where I specialize in unique purses and clutches for women who are members of a sorority or who went to a historically Black college or university. I started my business back in 2011, but it really took off in 2015 when I began to customize and create my own clutches. In the beginning, I pretty much just wholesale. I would get my purses from, New York and California and wholesale them. But my business really took off when I decided to really pick a niche and dive deep. And that's one thing that I encourage all entrepreneurs to do. Sometimes we get discouraged, or we feel like we don't want to leave any money on the table, or we feel like we're going to be leaving somebody out if we focus on a group of individuals. But I'm here to tell you that the more you niche, the more you kind of hone in on who you want to serve, the better are you going to be in regards to growing and developing your business. So it's not just enough to, cater to your business to women. What kind of women? Are these single moms? Are they married women? Are they Black women? Are they Caucasian women? Are they women in their teens? Are they women in their 20s? Are they women in their 50s? All this is important as you begin to build your business. And I can tell you from personal experience that my business took off when I began to niche down within the women who are members of a sorority or the women who attend a historically Black college or university. So one of the things that people always are excited to learn about is how I gain capital for my business. So I know if you are an entrepreneur, you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, one of the biggest things that you're going to need, or you need right now, is going to be access to capital, funding, revenue. All that good stuff is what you're going to need to either start or expand your business. And the sad part about it is if you are Black or even a person of color, it's harder for you to go into a bank and get a loan. It's not like people are like waiting for you to come in. There's so many hoops and obstacles that you have to overcome just to get someone to lend you some money to really start your business. Now, I will say that the banks have really come a long way, and there's a bunch of other opportunities to gain capital, but I like money that you don't have to pay back. And a strategy that I use to grow my business, which I'm going to share with you today, has been through business pitch competitions. Now, if you're not familiar with a business pitch competition, it basically is a competition where entrepreneurs compete for an opportunity to win money or cash and prizes. So for example, you could enter a competition and the grand prize could be a certain amount of money, like $10,000, $20,000, or you could win and you could potentially get resources to grow your business. I've seen competitions offer websites, office space, just different business tools that you would need to grow your business. So business pitches are a wonderful way to grow your business and win money that you don't have to pay back, which is my favorite. And what you have to do is basically talk about your business in a way that's clear, concise, and compelling in a short amount of time. And I'll get into how long business pitches are, as well as what's the process of even getting into a business pitch competition. So it's not like you sign up and you're automatically in. Interesting enough, I got started with business pitching when I was doing my business years ago. My first business pitch competition was actually not even business pitching. It was a speaking competition. There was this guy by the name of Kevin Bracey, who was out of California, who was having a speech contest. And it was called the Speak Up, Speak Off Challenge. And you had 2 minutes to motivate and inspire the audience. If they liked you, you had 1 more minute. You would go to the second round and motivate the audience. The cash prize was $1,000. And I was there. I was in college. There was authors and speakers all in this line to audition for this Speak Up, Speak Off challenge. And I was just so excited. So the first round, I did my thing. I spoke for 2 minutes. And then they announced that I was a part of the round 2, which I had 1 minute to motivate the audience. And then they actually decided on a winner. And I walked down, and that was the first time I got a taste of pitching. I won $1,000. I remember it was 10 crisp $100 bills. And to a college student, you would have thought that I hit the jackpot. I feel like a millionaire. And it was a really, really good entry into the whole pitch world. But how I really kind of got into it, and I realized the power of pitching through my business, Purse Paparazzi. And what happened was, a couple of years ago, I was a vendor at a women's event, and the host who was hosting the event had about 75 to 100 women in her audience. And she said, listen, we were all surrounded by wonderful, great women business owners. I want everybody who's a vendor to come up and actually talk a little bit about their business. Well, I indirectly have talked about my business before, but I wasn't put on the spot like that before. And I can see the 2 women on the side of me who had a jewelry business begin to shake. And I can see one of them had pure terror take over her face. She started to rub her hands together. She began to pace. And I knew that the thought of her speaking about her business in front of these women petrified her. But I was thinking the complete opposite. I had purses at the time, and I know that a purse, a pair of shoes, is a woman's best friend. So instead of getting nervous about the opportunity, I took it on as an opportunity to actually showcase my product and talk about my product. So she went up there, she grabbed the mic, she said, hi, my name is Lisa, and look, I don't really speak that well, y'all, but if y'all want to see my stuff, come over to my table. Well, I looked at her and I was immediately like, ooh, that wasn't a good way to introduce your business. Like, you had a room full of captivated women who loves jewelry, and you just talked about how you're not a good speaker and you wanted them to come to your table. So it was my time. She said, Purse Paparazzi, come up here and tell us about your business. And I grabbed the microphone and I said, if you are crazy for clutches or passionate about purses, I can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. Hello, everyone. My name is Quinn Conyers. I'm the proud Chief Fashion Officer of the Purse Paparazzi, and I specialize in unique purses and clutches for women just like you. If you want to be the same, if you want to look like everybody else that's out there walking around, go to the mall. Go online and buy a bag. However, if you want to be different, you want to be special, you want to be unique, come see me. I'm the Purse Paparazzi. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. After I gave that brief pitch for literally 20 seconds, my table was flooded with potential customers who want to do business with me because of my pitch. I even had some people say to me, listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not really into purses, but the way you talked about your business really got me motivated to come in here and talk to you. I even had another woman approach me and say, listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't even like purses. I just want to teach you to teach me what you just did as far as giving a business pitch. And I thought it was so interesting because it came natural to me, because naturally I am a speaker. That is my ultimate goal. But I didn't realize how powerful a pitch can be in front of your target market. Just to give you a little bit of history behind me, I have pitched a lot. I won over $33,000 in business pitch competitions, which I use money to grow and expand my business. I've also auditioned and pitched a Shark Tank, not once, not twice, but 3 times, made to the second round. I also appeared on the Entrepreneur's Elevator Pitch TV show, which was sponsored by Sprint, and they give entrepreneurs an opportunity to actually get into a physical elevator and pitch their business, kind of like Shark Tank, but it's different investors. It's a new show. They're only on season 3. So if you don't heard of it, no worries. It's still kind of new. So me pitching has been great. And I always let people know that you should pitch regardless. I get a question all the time. Well, I have a service business. Should I pitch? Yes. I'm an author. Should I be pitching? Yes. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. Obviously, if you sell products, you should be pitching. But what I tell people about pitching is it's about really answering that question, what do you do? Because you're pitching sometimes formally on a stage, but you're also pitching to attract customers. You're pitching to impress investors. And also you can pitch in business pitch competitions to win money to grow your business. So all of these ways, all of these different aspects of pitching need to be incorporated and included in your business, because I meet so many entrepreneurs who have an awesome business, a phenomenal product, or an amazing service, but when you ask them what they do, they stutter, they fumble, or they go on and on and on, confusing me or turning me off because all I want is a simple question answered about your business. So a lot of people ask me too about my pitch journey. And I would say that, interesting enough, some of my best experience has not always been winning. Some people are so focused on the money. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Winning the money is awesome. It's amazing, because what entrepreneur doesn't need money to grow their business? That is a great thing. But I've met a lot of great connections. And I would tell you this, never despise a name of a business pitch competition. I remember they were doing it in the Baltimore, DC area, and they had something called Piranha Tank. And I'm thinking to myself, is this a bootleg Shark Tank? Piranha Tank, what is this? You know, I didn't even know if it was real. But I had submitted my information. They had contacted me and said that I was in the rounds to actually pitch. So I went to the audition to actually do my pitch live in front of these investors. First of all, pitching is not new to people who are doing business. I think it's really new to people of color, Africans, African Americans, Latina people are probably new to pitching. But we've been doing this for years. So when I get there, I am, number one, the only woman in the room who's pitching, and I'm the only Black person in the room that's pitching. The judges are all Caucasian, and I pitched my business. And basically what I pitched was taking, if I was asking for like $100,000, and what I want to do with that money is get licensing to create custom purses for female fans who love the NFL. Because I'm in Baltimore, I was going to start by getting the Baltimore Ravens license, and this is what I pitched. And interesting enough, one of the people who were a judge, or one of the investors, actually knew somebody from the Baltimore Ravens. How interesting is that? So he ended up connecting me, and I had a pitch meeting with them. I went down to the Ravens. We actually went up to one of the skybox lounges in the private suites, and I told him about my business. And he was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do for you. I'm going to get back to you. I love the clutch. I think this would be a perfect addition. I'm super excited about it. He got back to me and said that he could not do the deal with Purse Paparazzi at the time because the Baltimore Ravens had an exclusive deal with Dooney and Burke, who's another influential bag company, to produce their bags. So that didn't necessarily work out for me. However, if I had not pitched at Piranha Tank, I would never have got the opportunity to meet the guy who was over the Ravens sales team and decided on merchandise and paraphernalia. So that was an awesome opportunity. Another great benefit of pitching is you get increased social media followers. You get more people who know about your business, because when you are in business pitch competitions, you know, you really don't know who is in the audience, because at the end of the day, you know, it's about the people who can give you money, but it's also about the customers that you can attract, you know, within your business. And one of the questions that I'm always asked about my business, because I decided to go full time. I was working my 9 to 5 and working my 5 to 9. But when I got pregnant with my first son, I have 2 kids, a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. I went to my husband and said, I can't do all 4. I can't be a wife, a mother, an employee, and an entrepreneur. And I said, you know what, give me 1 year. If I could work this business for 1 year, my full-time energy, my full-time commitment, my focus, I said, I will make this happen. I said, for whatever reason, if we are about to, you know, foreclose on the house and the kids are not fed, then I will go back and I will get a job. And let me tell you something, the first year out that I gave Purse Paparazzi my full undivided attention, we went from $36,000 to $104,000. So the first year I was a full-time entrepreneur, we made 6 figures. And people always want to know how I did that. Well, I'm going to tell you my secret to how I made the 6 figures. Number 1, I had a niche. Okay. I was not trying to sell purses to every and anybody. I had a niche. If you were a member of a sorority, or if you went to a Black college, you were my market. I picked my niche. The second thing is I had an online strategy and I had an offline strategy. So most people focus on one or the other, right? So your online strategy, how are you marketing your products and your service to businesses online? That's your e-commerce website, you know, and it's not enough just to have a website. How are you driving traffic to that website? So I was running Facebook ads. Now I run Facebook ads and Instagram ads. I was doing contests. So if you answered a bunch of questions, I might give a purse away. So I had a really robust I was running Facebook ads and Instagram ads to drive traffic to my website to make online sales there. The other way I was able to do it was I had an offline strategy because I have a product. I would actually register to be a vendor or an exhibitor at various events, conferences that I knew my target market was at. Because my target market is sororities, they have various regional conferences. I would pay a vendor fee to sell my products to them face to face. I always tell people there's a reason why there's Walmart and Walmart.com. People like to shop different ways. You got that person who likes to shop online and online only. I would admit I'm an Amazon lover. With a 1 and 2 year old, I don't have time as I used to go to the mall and shop. So I have to do something that's quick and convenient. So my preferred method of shopping right now is online, but you got some people who are not like that. They like to try things on. They want to touch the fabric. They want to smell the fabric. They want to make sure the jeans are true to size. They want to make sure this is royal blue and not navy blue. They want to go into the actual store. Okay. So I was catering to both my market. I was catering to my woman who like to shop face to face as well as who like to shop online. Because I don't have a storefront, I bring the store to their door. So whatever they were at, whether it was a regional conference, it could have been a scholarship event, I would pay my money to be a vendor table. I have a vendor table at that event so they could also see me live and also see me online, which also helped generate sales. Another thing that I did to turn that business into a 6-figure business is once you order from something from me online, I gave you an incentive to come back. Everybody who orders something from me online, you would get your product, but in that product, I would give you a 15% coupon to use for me on your second or third purchase. So I was turning my one customer into repeat clients. Also, when I was checking my customers out, I would collect their email addresses. So what I do is I have an email list of over 4,000 customers that when I launch a new product or I'm visiting a new event, I let them know where I'm going to be. You have got to stay in contact with your customers and touch them multiple times. On average, it takes somebody 7 touch points or 7 times to see your product or service or you before they decide to do business with you. So they might see you online, then they might see you at an event, then they might see your email. So you want to constantly make sure that you are in mind. I tell people all the time who don't advertise, I'm like, I don't understand why you don't advertise. Every entrepreneur, every business has to advertise. If you think about it right now, if I ask anybody who's on this right now, how much is a sweet tea at McDonald's? Mostly all of you know that it's $1, right? However, McDonald's keeps advertising it. But guess what? McDonald's advertises on TV. McDonald's advertises on the radio. McDonald's sends coupons. McDonald's runs Facebook ads. So my thing is, if McDonald's, who is a $1 billion restaurant business, is still advertising, promoting their dollar sweet tea and their dollar menu, why are you as an entrepreneur not advertising? So that's really been my secret sauce. My niche: having an online strategy, having an offline strategy, and also making sure that I have an email marketing system. So once somebody buys from me, I can continuously update them on where I'm going to be, send them coupons, do Black Friday sales so they know exactly what's going on with my business. Now, if you guys do not have an email marketing system, there are tons of them out there. A few of them that I would recommend is MailChimp, Constant Contact, Get Response. Those are 3 that kind of, Aweber is another one that's just 3 or 4 that come to mind that you can use. And basically you put these emails in this email marketing system and you can send beautifully designed emails to your customers. You can update them on new products. You can tell them about upcoming sales that you have. And if you're doing some vending and exhibiting like me, I always let my customers know where I'm going to be. You'll be surprised how many people come up to me and say, I got your email. I knew you were going to be here today. And you know what I do? I hug them. I thank you for their support, because people really like to know that they are connecting with the CEO and customer. And the more you are connected, the more you are in touch with your customer, the more people are going to talk about you, the more people are going to refer you, and the more you're going to increase your business. So that is how I kind of grew my business from the $36,000 I was doing. Now, mind you, when I was doing this, I was $36,000, I was still working my 9 to 5. It was when I completely focused my energy on Purse Paparazzi full time is when I, hit the 6-figure mark, and we've been doing it consistently for the last 3 years. So I'm blessed. However, I will tell you that's a whole nother, conversation that we have to have about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. Just know that it's not easy. There's plenty of times where I've quit Purse Paparazzi and picked it back up again. It's just part of the journey. I wish that I can tell you that running this business has been easy. It has not been. I have quit multiple times. People always say that there's something that you have to give up when you're running a business. The two things that I have absolutely given up sometimes is my sanity. That's probably the biggest thing, because when you are working a 9 to 5, I call my 9 to 5 or your job, your investor, which I highly recommend that you stay with your investors as long as you can to get the capital to put into your business, is that no matter what you do, you're getting a check every 2 weeks, sometimes weekly. When you're running a business, you can have a great 2 months, and then you can have 2 months where nobody wants to buy your product or service. You're like, hey, what's going on? Like last month, everything was fine. This month, nobody wants to buy. So that's part of the entrepreneurial journey, is everything that glitters is not gold. Sometimes people want to get out their 9 to 5 so bad to run this business, and you just have no clue how you have to give up something to really, really do this. And what I realize is a lot of entrepreneurs, they want the success, but they're not willing to give it that struggle. They want the success and they're not willing to sacrifice. And those are the two important things that you're going to have to give up when you're an entrepreneur. You're going to give up some of your sanity, and you're also going to have to there's going to be some struggle that you're going to have to endure to go through this. And again, I'm still a work in progress. Even though we've had great, success, there's also been a lot of ups and downs about learning my product, introducing new product, getting money to grow my business. And that's why I'm such an advocate of business pitch competitions, because not only do you win the money that you don't have to pay back, that's free money, always a plus. It's also great exposure for your business, as well as you can get mentors, you can get more social media followings. I mean, the list goes on. You can get introduced to other people from pitch competitions. I mean, it's amazing. Just recently, about 2 weeks ago, I was in a pitch competition in Ohio, and interesting enough, I did place. I won $2,000 in 90 seconds. Y'all heard me, right? I won $2,000 in 90 seconds. That's $22 per second, not per minute. There's some people who make $22 an hour. I spoke for 90 seconds and I made $2,000. So that is cool. And I'm telling you, the money that you can really make, to grow your business is really where it's at when it comes to pitch competitions. But interesting enough, I was at the National Urban League in Ohio for this business pitch competition, and a rep from a very large company, I can't tell you who it is because we're working with them right now, approached us, and they asked us if we have a manufacturer. We said yes, and now we're working with them to produce a certain type of purse that we're going to introduce to the masses. So again, in these pitch competitions, you just never know who you're going to meet. And if you're an entrepreneur and you are in need of capital to start or expand your business, I highly recommend that you look into business pitch competitions, and you should be entering them often. I enter pitch competitions at least once or twice a week, because you don't know who's going to say yes or who's going to say no once you apply for the application. I'm going to talk to you about the pitch application process so you can be a little bit aware of that, because there is a process to it. It's not like you just sign up and then you're on the stage. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on the business pitch process. And if you're just joining us, my name is Quinn Conyers, proud Chief Fashion Officer of the Purse Paparazzi. And I really want to thank Depot for letting me talk to you. I know that the entrepreneurs, the people he's connected to, is amazing, because he is amazing. And like he said, we've been friends for over 12 years. And I just don't take it for granted that he's allowed me some of, your time to spend with you. And I have won over $33,000 in business pitch competitions. And I'm a huge advocate for entrepreneurs who need money to start to expand their business to think about or consider pitch competitions, because it's a great way to get the money that you need to really fund your business. So I'm going to give you the pitch process, because people ask me that all the time. So there is a process to pitching. The first process is you have to actually apply, right? So usually the application requires you to answer some questions about your business. You want to know what your business is, what's your competitive advantage, what makes you special, different, or unique. Sometimes they'll ask you your sales, sometimes they won't. Mostly all of them ask for a video. They actually want to see you doing your pitch. That video can be anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes long, but you definitely want to read over the application process to see exactly what the pitch is requiring. It'll also let you know if you can ask for whatever amount that you want. So sometimes they'll say, okay, just tell us how much you want, because they have a unlimited pot of money. So you can ask for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $150,000. It doesn't matter. Or they'll let you know if you win what the set amount is, which could be $10,000. So the first thing you have to do is actually apply. So people always ask me too, well, where do you find these competitions? Well, there's a couple of ways, but I'm going to give you the quickest way. All you got to do is go to Google and type in business pitch competitions. If you want to make it really, really neutral, you can do business pitch competitions in Maryland, business pitch competitions in Baltimore, business pitch competitions for African Americans, business pitch competitions for women, business pitch competitions for male. Just play with those keywords and you can kind of see what comes up. Read over the application process, and if your business qualifies, sometimes the competitions are for businesses for anywhere from 0 to 3 years. Sometimes it could be 1 to 5 years. There's all different gamuts. So all I can say to you is every pitch competition is different. You have to read the rules, and if it applies to you, then you should apply. So that's the first part of the business pitch process, is applying, answering a couple of questions about your business, submitting a video. I've only done it once, but sometimes they do ask for a pitch deck. And basically that is a PowerPoint presentation with anywhere from 0 to about 15 slides that talks about your business. And you're, again, answering these questions about your business in PowerPoint format. Only one pitch competition has asked me for that, and I submitted it. And yes, I'm in that one. I'm actually going to, I haven't even announced this. So this is like super, like, you guys are special. So Depot, I didn't even announce that Fearless Magazine and Sarah Blakely, the owner of Spanx. Spanx is undergarments that women wear to kind of suck it all together. They're having a pitch competition in Atlanta, and I was chosen as one of the finalists. And there's $100,000 on the line, y'all. Did y'all hear me? I said $100,000 on the line. Like, the most I've won at one pitch competition was $10,000. So $100,000 is a huge deal. So I haven't even announced that yet because I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, but I'm about to enter that competition. So again, you have to have apply. And then the next piece is you got to get notified. So every competition that you enter, they're going to notify you, usually by email, if you have been accepted as a pitch finalist. I'll let you know this right now. I have been turned down more than I have said yes to. So there's so many out there. Don't get discouraged. It's like applying for a job. You keep applying till you get that yes, you know? So they will notify you. And then there's the actual pitch, right? That's when it's usually you and up to probably 10 other entrepreneurs who would pitch for either the full prize money or for, there can be multiple winners. I've been a part of competitions where there was just one winner. Then I've been a part of competitions where there was at least 3 winners. It doesn't matter. So with that pitch, I just encourage all of you, if you're doing this, that you want to make sure that within your pitch that you adhere to the guidelines. Most of the pitches that I've been in and I've won or even placed has been in 60 seconds. So I'll talk about the last pitch that I was in, because this was literally 2 weeks ago in Ohio for the National Urban League. There were 8 of us who were in the pitch competition. With those 8 of us, we had 60 seconds to pitch our business. The top 4 of us went to round 2. Round 2 is you had 30 more seconds to pitch your business. Now, let me tell you something. It's kind of, I'm not going to lie to you, it is nerve-wracking, but I don't focus on the nerve-wracking piece. I focus on the result of the pitch. If I win, that's $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 extra for my business. So I had to prepare a 60-second pitch and a 30-second pitch. So these are 2 things, that you want to think about. But that's the pitch. Again, make sure that you read the rules, because you don't want to get disqualified because they tell you only have a minute to speak and you speak for 90 seconds and you're disqualified. So you want to make sure that you adhere to the pitch guidelines once you are selected and notified. So I'll recap. The pitch process is pretty simple. There's 3 phases to it. You have to apply for the pitch competition. You can find these in Google, and then you get notified if you are submission or application has been accepted or, rejected at the time. The next phase of that is the actual pitch. And I've gone all over the United States pitching. I book my ticket. I'll do whatever I need to do to get there, because that's exposure and money for my business. So again, people ask me all the time, because I've won, $33,000 in business pitch competitions, what is a good pitch? And for those of you who are on the line and you are speakers, speaking and pitching are 2 different things. Now, they are related. They're not brother and sister, but I will say they're cousins, because usually when you speak, they'll say, oh, you have anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, or you have 3 to 5 minutes, or you have 10 minutes. And if you go a little over or a little under, it's not a big deal. If you go over in a pitch competition, you are disqualified. So the time is really, really the biggest differentiator between pitching and speaking. The way you pitch is really, really focused. And also, Pitches are short. It really requires the entrepreneur to be clear, concise, and compelling when they're speaking about their business. You have to be super clear. Like, what is your business? And you can't use any fancy jargon that only you know. For example, we make customized clutches. Now, the average person might not know what a clutch is. It's a small bag that women carry. There's no strap that you should carry underneath their arm, you know? However, if I'm in a pitch competition, I don't use the word clutch. I'll say purse or I'll say bag, because purses and bags are universal language to the common person. So you want to be very clear. You want to be concise, which is short, right? You have anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds to pitch. And then you want to be compelling. What makes your business so special, so different, so unique? They want to know that, okay? So this is what you have to focus on when you're pitching. You have to be clear, concise, and compelling. And when it comes to the elements of what information you should include, it varies on different pitches. Some people want to know your sales. Some people don't. So again, you have to read the application and see exactly what they want you to include in your pitch so you can adhere to those guidelines. Most of them want to know your business. Some people want to know what your competitors are. They want to know your sales. They want to know, a lot of just basic information about your business. But what I found when I have won, and what people have told me why I've won, and when I've seen other people win competitions, is how they structure their pitch. So I don't know if any of you have a pen or paper in hand, or you just want to listen or take your phone out really quickly and take some great notes. But here is really, really my pitch method that I have used to personally win over $33,000 in business pitch competitions. And Deepo and I were texting back and forth earlier. And when we combined the time, because I never thought about it. So thank you, Deepo, for kind of quantitating that for me. I just know that I won $33,000 pitching. When I summed up all the time, it's literally less than 25 minutes that I've won $33,000. Like, that's crazy, right? But when you think about it, most of my pitches have been 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 5 minutes at the most. When you add all of those up, I literally have spoken for 25 minutes and made $33,000. Like, I gotta kind of let that marinate a little bit. Like, that's kind of dope. Like, yeah, that's so thank you, Deepo, for pointing that out to me. But I'm gonna give it to you. Hopefully I give you a couple of seconds to kind of grab your pen, grab some paper, or even just take out your cell phone, go to the notes section, because I'm gonna give you the elements that I use to create a winning pitch. Now, the first is, it's actually an acronym. So it's pitch, PITCH. So again, it's an acronym. This is what I use to develop my winning business pitch, and I'm gonna share it with you right now. So the P in the pitch is passion, okay? And if you haven't already seen, I'm a very passionate person. So when you get up there and you're speaking about your business, you want to be energetic, you want to be exciting, you want to be very passionate about your product or service. Because guess what? If you're not fired up and excited about your business, nobody else will be. You can't get on stage and be mute. You can't be mundane. You can't be, just sitting there. Use your hands, use your eyes, use vocal variety. You might want to talk a little bit slower, and then you want to maybe go a little bit louder about your business. Use your eyes. I don't know if you can see me, but you use your eyes when you speak, but your passion, your energy, your excitement is contagious. If you are fired up and ready to go about your business, that is going to roll over to the judges. It's going to be contagious to the crowd. This is what you need. I can tell you, people had great businesses, great products, great services, and the delivery sucked. And that's part of the reasons why they didn't get selected. You have got to be fired up, on fire about your business, and your passion and your energy is absolutely an element that you need to include in your business, okay? The next part is the investment, right? When you are pitching, you need to ask for how much money you want or how much money you need, right? So if you ever watch Shark Tank, right, they always make an ask. They'll say something like, hi, my name is Quinn Conyers, and today I'm seeking $150,000 for a 15% equity stake in my company. When you're in these business pitch competitions, if there is no cap, like if they're not saying, whoever wins is $10,000, then you need to ask for what you need. Okay. If you need $25,000, if they give you $25,000, what are you giving them back? So you can either offer equity, which is them actually coming into your business as part owner, or you could offer interest, which is if they give you $25,000, you could say, okay, in return, I'll give you your $25,000 back plus 10% interest. But whatever you do, whenever you pitch, you want to make sure that you ask for money. That's why you're pitching. You're pitching because you're looking for investment. You're looking for funding, looking for capital to grow your business. So of course, the P and the pitch method that I use to win business pitch competition is passion. And then the next is your investment, how much money that you're asking for. And then in your business pitch, you must include your twist. What is your twist? That's your competitive advantage. So if you are a coach, why would I go to you versus anybody else? If you sell hair products, are you using all natural ingredients? You know, are you using aloe? Are you using chemicals that are tested on animals? What is your twist? And my thing is, nothing new is out there, okay? We've all seen something. Matter of fact, the guy who won the business pitch competition last year for the National Urban League, he had vegan cookies. So there's a million cookies out there, right? But his twist, what made his product so different, so special, so unique, was the fact that his ingredients, and these were vegan. So he used ingredients that didn't contain ingredients from an animal. And most cookies use some type of milk or something like that, and he didn't use that. So that was his twist. So my thing, or my advice to all entrepreneurs, is don't reinvent the wheel. I know you've heard that. Just decorate it in your color. So if you're going to do a bike and most bikes are black, maybe your bike is hot pink because you're trying to focus on the women who ride bikes. So you have to have a twist on your business idea. So if you're a business coach, what kind of business coach are you? Do you work with businesses that are, you know, started by single moms? Like, you have to have your twist, and you have to communicate your twist to the audience and to the judges, because that's going to help you win. Nobody wants another boring and basic, you know, business. They want to know, what is your twist on your business? Because guess what? There are a million people out there who sell handbags. I can name them. Kate Spade, Tory Burch, you know, you got Dooney and Burke. You got so many out there businesses that are out there who sell handbags. But I know that my twist is I sell handbags to women who are members of a sorority or women who attend a black college. Like, that's the space that I'm in. That's my twist. And that's how I communicate my twist to my audience. So that's what I do. Okay. Next is your confidence. You know, when you get on stage, you know, and it kind of relies on passion, but when you get on stage, you have got to be confident in who you are, and you have to be confident in your product, because sometimes within business pitch competitions, they will ask you questions about your business when you are done actually pitching. So you want to be confident about your business. You want to know your numbers. If somebody says to you, how much money did you make last year? You don't want to be like, oh, I don't know. So your confidence in your business, your confidence in your product, your confidence in your numbers, your confidence in your customers. You just want to make sure that you know your stuff front, back, left, right, eyes closed. You want to know your business in and out. And you also want to have confidence in your industry. So if somebody says to you, oh, okay, so you want to get into selling cookies, okay? Well, how big of an industry is that? You should know that the cookie industry is a $3.5 billion industry. I don't know if that's true. I'm just making it up. So the cookie industry is a $3.5 billion industry, and all you want is 2 to 3% of that industry. You want to make sure that you can speak with confidence about your business and know your business and know your industry left and right, up and down. So when people ask you questions, either the actual judges or people in the audience, because that's another thing. The judges or the investors who are picking the winners are going to have questions for you, but I have been flooded and inundated afterwards by people who are in the audience who want to learn more about my business and wanted my business card. So the way you speak about confidence about your business is going to increase your chances of winning these competitions, but also I always walk away hopefully winning. I win either way, because that was another way that I had an opportunity to share my business with the world, but I also attract customers. I grow social media following. Again, I talk about my last pitch competition because it was literally 2 weeks ago. So many people were inboxing me and following me on Instagram. I saw a spike in my numbers because they were in the audience of this pitch competition. So how cool is that? So the more confident you are about your business, that's going to increase your chances of winning. And then last but not least, the H in my pitch formula is, how will you use the money, right? So if you're asking for $100,000 or the prize money is $10,000 on the line, how are you going to use that money? Okay. And here's a tip. If you get the money, you do not use the money to pay off any credit card debt for your business. You use the money that's going to make you money. So every time I pitch, I always ask for money to buy more inventory. That's what I use the money for. Sometimes you can use the money for office space. Maybe you need to use the money to build a new website. But either way, I don't care if you're getting $5,000, $10,000, even $1,000. In your pitch, you have to say, if I win this competition, I will use the money to do blah, 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 blah. You have to explain that, okay? products or services. Maybe you need a website, maybe you need business collateral, maybe you need new business cards, maybe you need brochures, whatever you need for your business. You want to explain, if you win the money, how you would use the money. So let's just recap for a second. I just went over my winning pitch elements that I use for my winning pitch, and I know that we had a few people come on. If you are new, my name is Quinn Conyers, proud chief fashion officer of the Purse Paparazzi, and I've built a 6-figure bag business my first year as a full-time entrepreneur, as well as won over $33,000 in business pitch competitions. And my elements, or my formula that I use to win these competitions, have been through my acronym for pitch. And the first phase of that is my passion, which you have to be very passionate when talking about your business. You also have to ask for an investment. How much money do you need for your business? Is it $10,000, $25,000, $30,000? Is it $100,000, right? You also have to be able to provide your twist, right? What is your competitive advantage? What makes your business so special, so different, so unique? What is your twist on your business? Because guess what? Nothing is new under the sun. Nobody is making anything new, right? It's just about what's your twist on a product or service that you're already doing. So if you're a business coach, what makes your business coaching practice different from somebody else's business coaching practice? Next, confidence. Confidence about yourself, confidence presenting, confidence about your industry, confidence about your product. You got to know that your business, your product, your service is the biggest, it's the best, it's the baddest, and you will argue anybody down about how wonderful your product is, right? So your confidence about that has got to come through and exude when you pitch. And last but not least, you have to be able to know how. That's the H in the pitch formula, is how you will actually use the money. Are you going to be buying inventory? Are you be building a website? Are you going to get business collateral or marketing materials? You need business cards. You need a website. Are you going to be hiring somebody to help you kind of execute some of this business stuff? How will you use the money? So with that being said, I hope that you guys got some wonderful information and some nuggets about entrepreneurship and business. One thing that I will tell you, the entrepreneurship is a wonderful thing. It's non-discriminatory. That's why I love it. It doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care, how young you are. It doesn't care your nationality. It doesn't care your gender. If you have the drive, the determination, the ambition, if you can handle the ups and downs, if you can handle the insanity aspects of entrepreneurship, it's obtainable. I know people with 5 degrees who run businesses, and I know people who have a 9th grade education who also can be successful entrepreneur. And that's why I love it, because the hustle, the grind, I call it the grustle. If you have those 2 elements, you can really go far. And just not taking no for an answer is what you really need to be a winning entrepreneur. And that's why it's so great, because it really is open to anybody who is out there to pursue it. So I know that Deepo and I had talked about giving you guys an opportunity to ask me any questions. I definitely welcome that. I thank you for your time and your energy as you spent with me this last, 45 minutes. So with that being said, I want to bring Deepo back on. And if anybody has any questions for me, I'll be more than happy and honored to answer those for you. Just let me know how I can be of service. So Deepo, did you want to jump back on?
Yes, absolutely. Can you hear me, Quinn?
Yes, I can. I can see you and hear you. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for such a phenomenal presentation. And I think anybody who is watching this can definitely gain some insight as to how to become successful in their business. Now, actually, there's one question that I had for you, because I've known you for 12 years.
Yeah.
I know you're capable of doing your speaking ability. And part of the reason why you're able to pitch so well is because of your background as a speaker. You've been a professor at Coppin State University, and it sounds very easy to you. So what do you say to somebody who is listening right now, who is not so comfortable in public speaking, who is not so comfortable in pitching or even crafting that 60-second pitch, right? What would you say to such a person? And number 2, how can they, or where can they go to improve their communication skills so that they can effectively communicate their business?
That's an awesome thing. And you're absolutely right. My background is speaking. So I would say I probably have an advantage over everybody else. But I think it's the same like anything else that you want to get better at in life. If you want to be a better pitcher, you need to take a class. You need to enroll with someone. It's funny because I'm actually doing that now. I'm doing some business pitch coaching for entrepreneurs. So they wanted to enter these competitions. And I also, you know what? Anybody who is on this, if you email me at quinnmconyers@gmail.com. Again, Quinn M. Conyers, and that's Quinn, the letter M, and then Conyers, YERS@gmail.com. I just wrote a business pitch blueprint. I will send it to you free of charge. Oh, thanks, Depot. Yes, email me at quinconyers@gmail.com, and I'll give you an outline on how to write a business pitch. But yes, if I want to be a successful entrepreneur, what do? I go to entrepreneurship conferences, classes, whatever. Same thing with pitching. You have to educate yourself. Buy a pitch book. Take a pitch course. If you're not sure, Google it. Go to Eventbrite. Call me. I can help you, So if you are interested in getting involved and you're not really sure how to start, I can kind of help you with that process of creating a business pitch. Now, and let me tell you something. Honestly, it's not about being a good speaker, winning business pitch competitions. It's how well you know your business, because it's the content. And then as long as I can push the energy out of you, I can push the passion out of you, Well, actually, no, I can't. You have to have that passion. But the people who I see who win, they have that passion because they're confident about their business. So think about it. If you're not sure, or you're uneasy, or you lack a little bit of confidence, you're not going to be as powerful on stage. The people who win, they know their stuff. They know their numbers. It comes through. So that's what I would recommend. If you are new to this and you're not really comfortable, is like anybody else. If you want to be a better business owner, what do? You hire a coach. You take a class. Same thing with pitching. Nothing new. I'm sorry. What was the second part of the question, Depot?
I would say, actually, I think you answered it, because I also asked that what would you recommend for people, as far as developing that area of learning how to speak comfortably or even craft your message. So I think that answered it.
Yeah. And again, speaking with confidence about it is about knowing your business, because I can't help you if you don't know what your business. I can't help you if you don't know what makes your business unique. And if you don't know that, I can help pull that out of you too. Because that's what a lot of people struggle to, like, I have a business, but I'm not really sure why I'm special. Because I'm cheaper? Oh, I hate that. You want to piss Quinn off? Tell me that you're better because you're cheaper. No. We're not going to do that. We're going to find a really, really good competitive advantage. It's not always about being cheaper. It's about being your competitive advantage. What makes you different? Because you can be more money because you could be luxury. It all depends.
Right. Okay. Now, at this point, I know we have a couple of people on the line, and I like to kind of give people the opportunity to ask questions before I ask Quinn one or two more questions. So if you have any questions, you should see like a hand in your participant section. If you just kind of indicate, then I can unmute you so you can ask whatever questions you have. Or you can equally type it in the comment box.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they can type it in the comment box if they don't want to. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I was taking copious notes, Quinn, and I think one of the last phrase that you said is take no for an answer. And I think being an entrepreneur is just more than, hey, I want to make more money, I want to start a business. It requires a certain level of traits, right? Being persistent, being able to keep going when the tough, when things get tough. And I know you've been through all that process. You are a full-time mom, a full-time wife, a full-time entrepreneur. So what do you say to somebody who's listening right now who, they've tried, you know what I mean? They've tried their best. They're still trying. They're not generating any income. They're not, customers aren't coming. How do you deal with that type of situation?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So there's a couple ways to answer that question. First off, you have got to be a student always, right? One of the ways that I have able to grow my business is because I'm constantly learning. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm going to conferences. I'm doing, workshops, seminars. So if you're struggling in one area, what have you invested into yourself to grow? So if you've been telling me that you're not getting customers, I'm going to ask you, what have you done to try to learn how to get more customers? So you have to invest in professional development. And also there is something that we can't control. It's peaks and valleys in entrepreneurship. Sometimes you're going to have that month where you're going well. And then those other months, it's just going to be not going so well. I mean, that's just how it goes. And how you keep going, number one, is I don't know who's on this call, but if you don't have a relationship with the creator, God, I don't know. There's plenty of times I fell on my knees flat. Like, God, I quit. I'm quitting business to go get a job because it's real. It's hard. It's frustrating. It's taxing, but number one, you have to have a conversation with God. Number two, you have to have a supportive network. You can't talk to somebody about entrepreneurship and what you're going through if they're still working a full-time job. They're not going to understand you. Who is around you who's in your same situation? So if I'm one of those people, if I'm going through something about business, but speaking, like I'm trying to figure out a topic or I need some insight, I'm calling Depot. I'm calling Brian because they are speakers as well. We're in the same community. We both want to use our message to inspire and to motivate. Same thing with entrepreneurship. If you're a full-time entrepreneur, you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, you can't get advice from somebody who has no inkling of being an entrepreneur. Your mom might mean well, your dad might be well, but they're not going to understand your focus. So when times get tough, number one, you got to pray. You know what I mean? You got to keep, God first, of course. You have to surround yourself with other people who are just like you because they're going to be able to give you that support. And also you have to understand that you can't control entrepreneurship and you can't let entrepreneurship control you. There's going to be ups and downs. That's why it's called entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, the definition is a person who assumes the risk of owning and operating a business. There's a risk involved. So you could be super successful or you could fall flat on your face. But guess what? Every successful entrepreneur that I know has a story. They have a story where they flatlined. They have a story where they did completely horrible. They might have went bankrupt. They might have went broke. They might have sold their house. They might have been homeless. But in the end, it worked out. Now, maybe your story won't be as tragedy or, as tragic, but everybody has went through something, gave up something, put in blood, sweat, tears, whatever. You have to have that mindset. And that's what it really comes down to, that mindset of no matter what, I'm going to make it. If you have that mindset of no matter what, I'm going to make it, you keep God first and you surround yourself by other people who are also into business, you can make it.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much for that. And then my last question, Quinn, is you mentioned, I think part of your success is due to the fact that you know how to expose your business to the right people, leveraging social media. So, and I know a lot of people really don't see the importance of social media or even how to, because you talked about boosting, creating an ad on Facebook and on Instagram, and that's foreign to a lot of people.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. So what do you say to someone? Can you hear me, Quinn?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. You pause for a second. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's going a little bit. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now I was saying that, what do you say to that person who doesn't have the necessary skill set to expose their business to people, and what can they do to do that?
Awesome question. So 2 things that you can do. Number 1, you can hire somebody if you have the money. Number 2, you can do what I did and you can bootstrap it. We are in an information technology phase, right? There is not knowing is an excuse to me because you can Google, you can buy a book, you can go to YouTube and put how to run Facebook ads. You can go to YouTube and write how to do Instagram. More specifically, I learned how to do Facebook ads because I went to Amazon.com and typed in how to do Facebook ads, and I bought a book, read the book, and did it. So if you're not unsure, there's Google, there's YouTube, there's books on Amazon on how to do this. I literally saw a video of a woman who built a house by watching YouTube videos. What? She just bought the stuff, watched the videos. I mean, that's a little bit excessive. I wouldn't suggest that. But if it's like something as simple as running Facebook ads, I see all the time on Facebook that there's people doing free webinars on how to run Facebook ads. Take the webinar. Udemy, I don't know if anybody has heard of that. Udemy is a online website for people who are teaching various courses. So you can go to Udemy, and that's udemy.com, and you can type in any type of subject that you're learning to learn about, and you can literally pay for that course. And that can be anywhere from $10 to $100. Sometimes there are courses that are free. But at this day and age, you can't use I don't know how to do that as an excuse. Google it, go to YouTube, go to Amazon, and buy a book about what you're trying to learn about. And I guarantee that will help you. Okay, so I think we have a question from Mark. Depot, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Are you able to read? I can read it out to you.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it says, knowing how much a customer costs from a marketing perspective, will you allow to use?
Okay.
Okay, so hold on. Let me make sure I can understand this real quick. Knowing how much a customer costs from a marketing perspective, will you allow you to pitch competition judges? What return? Okay, I'm not sure I understand the question. So, Mark,
Quinn, I'm going to unmute Mark.
Yeah.
I'm going to unmute Mark so you can actually ask that question.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, Mark, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, Quinn, it's Mark Fuller.
So let me tell you something. This is Mark, one of my mentors. This is hilarious. Yes, Mark. I didn't think it was you, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I was listening in. Great webinar, by the way. Both of you are doing an excellent job. So the point that I was making and the question that I was asking is, when you do the pitch competitions and you start talking about numbers, do you let the pitch competition judges know? And I'll give you an example to say, my product may cost $100, but based on the marketing I've done, I know every customer from a marketing perspective cost me $15. So if I win this pitch competition and I win $10,000, I'm going to put it into marketing, and that should help me generate another 1,000 clients or what have you, and that would be revenue of X, and you can quantify it in a number. Are you using the numbers around how much customer acquisition is costing, and then how much this revenue from the pitch competition will actually generate in sales for you? Are you incorporating that into your pitch?
Great question. So I do not necessarily talk about customer acquisition. How I position it is, if you give me $10,000, I talk about it in regards of cost per unit. So if you give me $10,000 from this pitch competition and it costs me $3.50 to make each wallet, and I sell that wallet for $25 a piece, that will gross me over $36,000 in sales. That's
awesome.
How I do it. However, I do know some other people who pitch customer acquisition way. I talk about, if you invest in me, here's how I will use the money. More specifically, I break it down to, this is how much I get it from my manufacturer. Here's how much I will retail it to my customer. And this is how much it will gross me overall.
Awesome. Thank you.
And that was thanks to you, Mark. How I was able to talk more numbers about my business.
Got you. Yeah, people love numbers.
Yes, especially when they're giving you money. They want to know money. When they give you money, they want to know how you're going to spend that money.
Absolutely.
How it's going to benefit you. Yes, absolutely. Good question. Thank you. I think, does Hanifa have a question? I hope I'm saying your name correctly.
Yes, that's right. Hi, good evening. Wonderful webinar. Thank you so much for sharing the information with us.
You're welcome.
So I just had a question. You said something that I thought was really profound. You said that you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
You just need to, decorate it or color it the way that suits you or fits you.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that a lot of us entrepreneurs know is that sometimes our products, like you said, there's 1,000 of them, 1,000,000 of them. Everyone can do cookies, everyone can do hair products, bags, whatever the case may be. I just wanted to hear an actual example, or maybe from you, or things that you've heard. What are some creative ways that you've heard people pitch, like everyday, seemingly common items? Or if you don't mind sharing, for you, I know you do custom clutches for people in sororities, fraternities, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So what are some creative ways that you've sort of put your twist on your product?
That's exactly it. Because you think about the handbag industry, the most of the handbags, you can go and you can buy a bag from a Coach bag, which is about $200-300, but you can buy a Louis Vuitton that's thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? So the Coach bag is for the working woman, right? Who has $200-300. Then you got the luxury woman. These are the women, I don't know where they exist. They have $15,000 to spend on a bag, but they're out there because there's a company that caters to them. So when it comes to that is, even with my purses, if somebody, there's so many different ways that you can go after somebody. It's just about who you're going after, being specific. So my purses are catering to women who are members of a sorority or who went a sorority. That's, members of a sorority who went to a Black college, right? There's over 4,000 colleges in the United States of America. However, only 101 of them are catering to Black students. That's my niche. So there's purses out there. All I'm doing is I'm coloring my wheel sorority and Black college, right? Other ways, I talked about cookies. Jimmy Begins cookies. He used all natural products. I'm trying to think what else have I seen as far as, that's simple, but they added their own twist to it. I I can give you a perfect example that you've heard of Uber and Lyft, right?
Yes.
So think about it like this. Before Uber and Lyft, what did everybody use if they needed a ride somewhere?
Taxi cab or your mom, your dad, your whoever.
Right? So I don't think that Uber all they did was make it that if you wanted to call the taxi cab, that you can use your phone to do it. That was their twist. It's still you're getting a ride from someone else. Their only twist was you can use your phone. You don't have to physically call somebody to actually book this ride. They even went a step further, says you can track when the person's coming. That's their twist. You getting a ride from other people have been around for years. All they did was say, now you can book a ride through your cell phone. I'm trying to think what other twists. I've seen shoes. I've seen, which I thought was really, really interesting when I was auditioning for Shark Tank. There was a woman out there and she had shoes, and the shoes that she had, she was able to change the heel. So she can make the shoe flat. She can make it an actual pump. I thought that was genius. So all she did was make a shoe that you can change out the heel. Shoes have been around for how long, But I haven't seen anybody before make a shoe that is so I would just say think outside the box. So whatever you're doing, you can either cater it to a certain demographic or decorate it or change something that, goes. I don't know. Does that help?
Wow, it does. It sounds like, so what I'm getting from what you're saying is, it's almost like find a solution. Like, what solution will you provide for that demographic? Like
exactly. And I'm gonna give you one more example that I think is really, really profound, right? So you've heard of Nike, you've heard of Reebok, you've heard of Adidas, correct? Now, have you also heard of New Balance?
Yes.
So New Balance is a great shoe, but what I like about it is my younger sister has very wide feet. They go up to a 5E wide. Right? So if you're a person that has really, really wide feet, you're probably going to go with New Balances because Nike and Adidas and all those other ones really kind of cater to people with, I guess, regular size feet. But you also got, matter of fact, I was working with someone who is working on a shoe line to make for not comfortable, but stylish shoes for women who wear a size 10 to 15, because there's some women who wear a size 12 and 13 and can't find shoes. All their shoes are orthopedic looking. So shoes have been around for a while, but all she's doing is making stylish shoes for women who have big feet.
No, that makes sense.
All New Balance is doing is making shoes or sneakers or tennis shoes for women or men who have wide feet. Does that make sense? You see how they added
that makes
twist?
sense.
It's still shoes, but it's just adding their twist. So I hope that was helpful.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, Quinn, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
All right, yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to thank everybody for number one, hopping on, and the excellent questions that everyone has been asking. Phenomenal. And more importantly, Quinn, I want to thank you so much for just even carving out an hour of your time, because I know just listening to what you're saying, some of these content that you're sharing, you actually offer a paid webinar to share some of the stuff that you're offering for free at this present time. So definitely thank you so much for this time. And for those of you who hopped on the call, I hope you were able to kind of gain one or two insights on, what you can do to take your business to the next level as it relates to either pitching or if you need an idea, just looking at something that already exists. And like Quinn said, being able to add your own twist to it and start something brand new. There's actually a book out there, I think it's called Disrupt by Luke Williams, that really talks about, taking an existing idea and then just tweaking one or two things and rebranding it to become something new, which is a perfect example is Uber and Lyft to what they did to the taxi industry. So
murdered the taxi cab industry.
Huh?
I said they murdered the taxi cab industry.
What'd you say?
They murdered the taxi cab.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about innovation. Just being able to take. I mean, even one of my businesses that I started was based on that same principle: taking something that already existed, tweaked it, and rebranded it.
But
it looks like you want to say something.
Yeah, I do. But what's so interesting about Uber and Lyft that people don't realize is they were disruptor, but it's disruptor for millennials. I'm going to tell you why. Because older people still use taxi cabs. They don't know how to do all that on their phone. So they're still calling. You know what I mean? So taxi cabs still have a purpose. You know what I mean? And they're still being utilized. It all depends on the demographic. Because if you're trying to work with, let's say, 50 to 75-year-olds, they don't know. My grandma still has a flip phone. She can't even get pictures. So the thought of her telling her to catch the Uber, she's like, what? She's going to call the taxi cab company, or she's going to get on the bus because she doesn't drive. So I think it also depends on, I think there's business opportunity for certain demographics. Like millennials are like the hottest thing right now. So what can I create for millennials? But there's also still a lot of senior citizens out there who can use services as well. So it's all about how you add your twist to something. All they did was, let me figure out how to give rides to these millennials. That's going to be what they're already using, which is their phone. But guess what? The taxi cabs are not, I mean, they might be suffering a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they still have a nice database of 50-plus-year-olds who are not using a phone, but actually calling to make an appointment. So that was a really good point, Deepo. When you said that, it kind of just jumped in my mind like, yeah, it all depends on who your market is. And that could be your competitive advantage, who you're serving. You serve single moms. You can serve divorced moms. I want to help divorced women, blah, 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 live their best life. I want to help moms who have empty nests, reclaim. I mean, there's so many ways you can do it when it comes to finding your niche and on that niche. Yeah. Yeah,
I think that's what you pretty much did with your bag business. Just going from a scale of catering to everybody and then narrowing it down to a specific niche, and very, very powerful. Very powerful. Well, it's definitely past 9, so thank you all so much for joining. Quinn, thank you so much. We'll definitely catch up afterwards. And I look forward to seeing you all on our very next webinar coming up in a week or two as we kick it off with another insight of the Entrepreneur series. So with that being said, have a great night, everyone.